The lava lamp is off. Everything is gathered at the bottom as it's cooling, except here. This will inevitably cool, and already the material is getting darker as it condenses. But the material trapped inside the bubble will keep it floating. Or maybe it'll float to the top. Maybe it'll drift to the bottom. Or maybe as it shrinks, it will eventually just pop. But it's cooling right now. It just sits there. It just sits there. And me needing a tripod. Is it going up? Is it floating? Is it floating? It's getting close. If it breaks the surface, will it pop? Or has the material cooled enough to render it hard? Oh, it's gonna pop. It's gonna pop. Is it gonna pop? It's breaking the surface. What is the surface integrity on the bubble? Is the cooled material hard enough that it's not going to rupture when it touches? There it goes. It's settling on the top. It's going to break. Coming down. It is broken. It's broken from the surface. Continues to float, continues to darken as the material cools, condensing, building pressure, going up again, maintaining integrity. Will it touch? Will it drift to the bottom? No, I think it'll stay at the top. I think it's cooling, but it's not settling. The bottom is still a bubble. The particles have not settled to the bottom, so it's still hot enough to keep things afloat. The air bubble is keeping the bubble inside afloat. The integrity of the bubble's surface is not breaking yet. But it's getting more and more delicate. It's very thin, and as it hardens, it's getting smaller, and it's compressing the inside more and more. So it's more and more pressure building up against a surface that is thinner and thinner, stretched. See this fluid still moving, still spinning around as it cools, still in flux. The entire lava lamp is still in motion. particles are not so much settling as drifting. And the center mass at the bottom is slowly cooling back to a more flat shape. So it's all cooling. Is it gonna break? It's getting tight. It's getting harder and harder. The surface is moving. It's breaking the surface. Is it gonna break? Is it gonna break the surface? It's where it's the most thin. There's the least amount of material at the top. The surface of the water could break the integrity of the bubble, and then it's gone. Could pop it. Oh no. It's drifting down. It's cooling. Is the weight of the bubble enough to bring it to the bottom? It's dropping. It's dropping. It is dropping. Stabilized. Now it's moving back up, almost like there's currents inside. There are heat currents, I suppose, swirling around. But it's going back up. There, it's on the surface. It's on the surface. Nobody's gonna give half as much a shit about this as I do. I haven't done drugs in years. It's up, it's up, it's up, it's up. There it goes, it's breaking again, breaking the surface again, maintaining contact, stretching the surface of the bubble. But as it cools, it's getting harder. Very rare to have a bubble freeze mid-air in a lava lamp. That's why I'm filming it and narrating it like a goddamn moron. Talking to myself sitting at my desk about whether or not a lava lamp bubble will go. Guessing Neil Armstrong never sat staring sober at a lava lamp, wondering if it would pop. I don't know if I want it to pop or if I don't. I just want to see. I just want to know if it's going to. Is it going to break? It's so fragile. It's right on the edge. If I shook the canister, it would break. So I could affect the outcome immediately. What's the fun in that? I think I can either mess with the canister and affect the bubble. I can sit back and check on the bubble every once in a while. I can turn the bubble off and walk away out of the room. The bubble doesn't even know I exist. Lucky goddamn bubble. Is it gonna break? What a stupid video. But I wanted to watch it instead of working in the garage. So, figured, what the hell, right? I'm only sorry I didn't have a chance to get my tripod up and going. 10 minutes right now, is it? It's still hovering. The fluid at the bottom has cooled quite a bit. It's settled, look at that. Look at it as it's dropped down. Everything is cooling. But the bubble weighs just enough to keep it below the surface. Not enough to rise all the way up. There's just enough substance around the bubble to keep it intact. Even as it cools and condenses, puts more pressure on the material inside, the air inside, it still doesn't break. So much happening on my desk right now. It's just floating there. Still spinning. There's still some movement to it. There it is. It's spinning. Particles are definitely descending. Moving down, moving down. Everything is slowly, slowly dropping. Material at the bottom is cooled. It's there. Is it gonna drop? Is it really just gonna hover there? It's not gonna break? Is it gonna break? Can't imagine who's laughing at this video online. This is yet another thing of my mother to be proud of. So the bottom is settling. Everything is cooling. The bubble just keeps up and down and up and down. And it's cooled somewhat, but even higher up, it's cool enough that it should be much harder than the bottom, the surface. Being farther from the light bulb, from the source of heat. And the greatest amount of surface area to disperse heat. So it's got to be about as cool as it's getting. So that's it. The bubble is now too firm to break. It may crack, but it would just sink then. It's not so much even a bubble anymore, it's just a hard little pocket. Like we've been through a lot. I didn't even get a tripod. Just shaking my hands away watching it. Everything's settling to the bottom. Center mass is all flattening out. It'll really, still soft now, but it'll really be getting, it'll be firming up here soon, turning into a more solid lump. And the bubble just floats. It just floats. I adjust my arm because I'm sitting here for 16 minutes staring at the goddamn unplugged lava lamp. I want to know what's going to happen, though. I want to see what's going to happen. Part of me wants to just leave it indefinitely, but I think it would just sit there. If we turn it back on, it heats up. Something would break the bubble. But the bubble is where it's going. So I think that's it. Still warm. Oh, the bubbles look soft. It's gonna pop. It's gonna pop. It's gonna pop. Still soft in there. A lot more soft than I thought. Jesus. It was cooling down quite a bit, but it's not. Ah! It falls. So it wasn't the bubble at all. I fucked it up. After all that, the bubble is doing fine on its own. Then I came along and disrupted it. It's probably a metaphor somewhere in there. Thanks.